What is up, y'all? Dan back at you with another video, and I wanted to do my first Final Fantasy VII Rebirth video. This isn't really spoilers or anything like that. This is just the in the universe card game known as Queen's Blood. I had a lot of people asking me about, the game, didn't really understand how it works. If you really want to know, how it works, I know some people have put out tutorials. If you want to know what made me figure out how to make this very easy, then I'll make a video for it. But I wanted to talk about the Queen's Blood tournament and using that as a foundation, as a tutorial, as a understanding of the game and how it actually works, and how to make it very, very simple. Now, with this video, I'm going to go through all of my combat, with this video, I'm going to go through every single game that I came across, and I'm going to walk you through my thought process and what I chose to do, leading up to each of the fights. I picked a deck that focused on, aggressive pushes, and I focused on having a couple of threes. I know the pawn numbers, the three, but most of them were ones and twos. There was a couple of cards that will give you a multiplier bonus when you put a card on there, and you got to have a couple of defensive cards as well. So I'm going to play the video and let you go through my thought process, and come back at the end of the each game and talk about what I did and what I tried to do. And you'll kind of notice a pattern throughout each of the games, and I try to keep to that as well.
Felix might need to brush up on the basic rules.
Is she whispering? I need a block. Technically, that would count as a block.
No holding back.
Cloud keeps the hits coming as he maintains a solid advantage. Felix looks asleep at the wheel. Is he actually sleeping?
You're getting roasted, man.
Bring it.
Now he's got nowhere to go.
That's the way.
Oh, you look at that. Titan gets added to the field.
No holding back.
Cloud's opponent had better watch out. He's hungry like the wolf for victory. Felix looks asleep at the wheel. Wait, is he actually sleeping?
I got this. No problem.
This is kind of me being a bully at this point, but
Good luck.
why not?
Come on, man. Do me a solid and ease up a little.
At this point, I think you kind of understand how I try to play this. I try to get it over as quickly as I can, because every time there's a chance that the computer can put out a card that just absolutely steamrolls my entire plan and just makes me unable to really catch up, because the computer is really smart. It has a pattern. Once it starts doing a certain thing, it can be very tough to combat that. Another thing to really know that I like to think of is you don't have to win the entire board. What I like to do is I like to focus on 2 of the 3 rows and focus on dominating those 2. Sometimes I will let the computer hold down the middle or the bottom or the top, and I'll focus on dominating the other 2, because of course, just by numbers, if I have a high number and I've dominated top and bottom, but it dominated middle, of course, when it decides to pick, and once it decides to, end the game, I will win by default because I have an overall higher score from the board than the computer does. So sometimes it can be overwhelming to try to focus on dominating the entire board, but if you can dominate 2 of the 3, that makes it a lot easier as well. Higher number. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need to. They are based off of pawns, so
I'm ready when you are.
First things first, each of the top, middle, and bottom has one pawn, so I can only place one of the ones that has a single pawn next to it as its value. And then, if you look at the card, it tells you if you were to place a card in a certain location, it will then place there, but then it'll also add a single pawn number to the right and below it. The orange box adds a multiplier. If you have control of that place, it will count the top right number of the card, which is 1. If a card places on there, it'll count as 4 points. So if you look at it now, there's 1, 2, 3. One row has 1 each. And if I put 1 on there, because of me having the 2 orange boxes, 1 to the right and 1 to the below, it will then add a pawn to each of those 2 locations, so I get control over it. The orange box makes it to where if I sooner or later have control over that position, whatever card I put down on top of there, since the top right of the card has a number value, it adds +3. When I place this card here, the top row will give me 1 point.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
When Tifa drops hers, it will do the same thing.
Talk about relentless. Tifa isn't letting
Because
up.
she placed this card, she placed it there. It puts one pawn to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 above it. Since the orange box adds a multiplier above it, same thing. And then the bottom row counts as 1 point, since that card counts as 1. So my goal is to have more points on the board than she does. Also, it becomes easier if I take control over more columns or rows.
Bring it.
Cloud keeps the hits coming as he maintains a solid advantage.
You ready?
And notice how this one, when I stand on there, give me that if I want to. More than likely I'll put this one, because then this will give me a multiplier for both of these.
No holding back.
Cloud is cool and composed. His focus unmatched.
So right now you see if the game were to end now,
Tifa proves she's a force to be reckoned with.
if the game were to end now, it would calculate the top row, the middle row, and the bottom row. Since she has more points than the top row, she would have 4 points. Then if she had control of the middle, she would have 3 more points, so 7. And then since I have control of the bottom points, then I would get 0.6. So then she would win 7-6. So it's my goal to, by the time we've all placed cards, for me to have more points on the top, middle, and or bottom. Or anything like that. It's very... Once you kind of understand that, it becomes very simple. Because you want to force yourself to get from left to right side as quickly as can, while having as high of a point value as possible. That's all.
You're mine.
A masterful play from Cloud. Can his opponent recover? Uh-oh.
Certain cards can
Tifa's
like
opponent
change
has her
everything.
on the
on.
ropes.
Yeah, so this card right here is one of them. Certain ones have abilities where when I play the card, if they put a card on this tile, for example, this one says that it will lower the power of an enemy card on an affected tile by 3. If it going down 3 makes their overall card value 0, then it deletes it from the field. It removes it. So that's what happened. So sometimes you could have a very highest card total. If she would have had like a 4 here, and I were to have placed this 5, which was the 3 plus the bonus from the bottom card, which was 2, place this 5 here, it would then give me the slot and remove it from her because 4 versus 5, basically. So there are certain cards with buffs, or they call them enfeeblements, that will make things basically debuff the other player's cards. But there are also times that I can use a card that debuffs my card, but when my card is destroyed, it does something to them. Yep, it's just simple addition. So if, for example, if I use this one right here, which has me placing it and then doing a top, right, and bottom, and I were to have placed this here, but there's a card here already in the middle to the right, and if I were to place this card down currently, it would have given me 5 points in that slot. But the one to the right has 4 points. It would allow me to overcome that slot and remove it and take advantage of that slot. That's all. It's just simple, like if you're trying to take up a spot, which one has a higher number value. That's all. This one I like because I can just put it and then take control over everything. Now what's going to happen is she's going to place something in that single pawn slot, and if that pawn slot has a high number, it will overcome mine like that. It literally overcame the slots. So unfortunately there's no way for me to take this back unless I were to have a card that could like put me all the way to the top, and I don't think I do. Not all the way. This one would be the only one, yeah. So because of that pawn being counted as 1, and I'm about to place a card down that counts as 5, it would go down, and then 2 slots up, I have a pound for 2, and then it'll give me the slot back.
You're mine.
And now she can't do anything but put the middle one in. So I basically have 1 now, because this bottom row I have 11 points. The middle row I have 6 points. If I were to end it now, she has nowhere to go. So it'll be a total score of 17 to 6. But that's not what we're not what we're doing. So like Grenadier, if I place this down, it will have the when played, lower the power of enemy cards affected by 4. So if I were to have played that, it would then like pull down something, which is really nice. But I can't because it requires 2 pawns and I don't have any here. Unless I do this.
No holding back.
Just to give me the double pawn. And then I put this here, it will debuff that, so it'll take 4 points away from there if I place it here. So instead of that card having 4, once you get to the point where you feel like you have safely and confidently won, unlike this video and unlike these games that I'm showing you, you can just end the game in the pass and try to end the game ASAP. But I only like to play it all the way out just to make sure that I get the win. It might seem a little bit brutal, but the last thing you want to do is think, that you have the dub, and then all of a sudden they pull out a card you didn't expect or haven't seen before, and it does some crazy things that all of a sudden, tips the odds in their favor. So personally, I will always go all the way down until there is a card on every single, tile, and then end the game just to be safe, just to be, 100% certain, because nothing's worse, trust me, I've done it, than thinking that you had it early, there was no way they can come back, and then all of a sudden they drop down a level 8, whatever, and then it's just game over. There's nothing you can do. It's too late. Just always make sure you secure the dub before just, turning in. Video just play out in regards to this third fight, as this was easily the most difficult one. It's the one I had to redo my build multiple times to beat Andrea, but he's going to give you problems as well. Maybe enjoy this part of the video and just watch my thought process on how I can finally beat this guy. Guarantee he has one.
I'm ready when you are.
Let's give these good people a show.
Yeah, the other one, man.
Andrea is the picture of confidence and swagger.
You're mine.
I'm dancing circles around you.
Middle.
I shall be graceful in victory.
And there's more where that came from. Bring it.
Cloud keeps the hits coming as he maintains a solid advantage.
It's mano a mano, just you and I.
Can still pull this off. No holding back.
I expected more from you, Cloud.
Andrea knows how to captivate his audience and his opponent.
You're mine.
Cloud's future in this
I really gave up
competition
the
is
top for
looking
that.
pretty grim.
I shall be graceful in victory.
I'm just getting warmed up. Bring it.
Cloud is cool and composed. He's focused, unmatched.
It's mano a mano, just you and I.
The astounding Andrea Rodea is once again winning in style.
You're mine.
This isn't your strong suit. I shall be graceful in victory.
Not looking good. No holding back.
This match isn't going in Cloud's favor. Can he still turn things around? The astounding Andrea Rodea is once again winning in style.
This should be a dub.
You're mine.
This should be a dub.
You do know how to show me a good time.
I got this. No problem.
With some really bad RNG to start off this game, but figuring out and saving my cards for certain situations to having some really good RNG at the end, you can see that he was very aggressive, but we were able to pull out the win. And it was the only one that kind of gave me some problems. I couldn't figure it out because he came out the gate with some really cool strategies. He was really, really aggressive, and he had some really, really, really good cards that made it very frustrating to compete with him.
Let's throw down, as they say.
It should come as no surprise that Chadley is projected to win.
I definitely have noticed a wild scaling in the last two matches.
No holding back.
Cloud keeps the hits coming as he maintains a solid advantage.
Opponent's heart rate indicates fight or flight response.
And there's more where that came from.
I keep forgetting that's a one.
Bring it.
Current projections show my victory is all but assured.
All right. Just gotta keep this up. You're mine.
A masterful play from Cloud. Can his opponent recover? Has Chantley miscalculated? I can't believe it.
Bring it.
Recalibrating due to unforeseen action. Opponent's heart rate indicates fight or flight response.
A rare misstep by Chantley, but will it cost him dearly?
Opponent exceeding initial projections.
That's the way.
One rule of thumb is always trying to have some cards that will always either push you forward or has the ability to either enfeeble or debuff or, drop the number of the card for the other player, and just having a few things that can also buff or, amplify or multiply the card numbers on your side. Having one of those things, one or two of those, is always nice. And as you can see in these videos, I always try to keep one card that is a big card. It's like 5. If I had something higher than that, I try to keep one or two of those, because you never know when, you need to just slap one down to, win the game or just overtake a game. And keeping that on you can be the difference between a win or a lose in a close match. With only 2 matches left in the tournament, I do feel that at this point you've probably seen all that the game has offered as far as different strategies, or at least the foundation. Of course, by this point in the game, I'm only about halfway through the game and I've done every single card game that I've come across, and I do feel pretty confident that no matter what they're giving me at the end of the game, that I can take it. So with this video, I'm just going to walk you through the last tournament matches and then come back and give you a couple pointers to learn and try out in your own pace.
First, I'm all set. Let's hope you can keep up.
Regina outdoes herself with every hand. It's incredible. Cloud is cool and composed. He's focused, unmatched. What a play by Regina. She's the one to beat, folks.
You're mine.
Frog.
Still pull this off.
What the heck? The first time this card is enhanced, raise the power of allied cards by 3.
No holding back.
A masterful play from Cloud. Can his opponent recover? What a play by Regina. She's the one to beat, folks.
So every card next to it is what the?
Game is on another level.
Raise power by 1 for each enhanced ally card. Wow, that combo is insane.
Bring it.
It's like you're not even trying.
Victory
Technically-
is all assured for Regina, and
technically-
she knows it.
She can't make any more plays. So I could give her the top floor. I have the middle floor. As long as I can get the bottom floor, we're 6 to 9. As long as I can get the bottom floor, I'm chilling.
No holding back.
Just you wait.
Oh, we
Cloud's
won.
opponent
We got
had
it.
better watch out. He's hungry like the wolf for victory.
You're mine.
Cloud isn't letting up the pressure one bit.
I got this. No problem.
As you probably heard, I was very surprised about a card coming out that I did not ever see, didn't know what its effects were, and I kind of got startled for a split second. But because we had our strategy, because we had a pretty solid deck of cards, it was already too little too late. We had full control over the board, and I just ended up giving her the top because there was nothing you could do. I was going to have such a strong middle and bottom that we were going to win no matter what. Just sometimes you just got to give up one of the 3 and just dominate the bottom 2, or whatever 2 that you have the option of dominating. 26-9. She had me for a second.
No, there's no way I lost.
Can you believe it?
If you've come this far in the video, then hopefully, you know, these games and this just talking points have helped you a lot. If you need a more straightforward and, you know, foundational, you know, tutorial, I have no issues making a small video about that as well. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I love this game, and I hope that the people currently playing this, you know, Final Fantasy Rebirth also are giving this game the time it deserves. A few tips I would always suggest is playing every single player that you come across. Even if you suck, even if you lose, at least you have the experience and you know what kind of cards and what kind of strategies the computer will toss at you. Also, don't forget, whenever you have the ability to buy cards at a vendor, whether it's a shop or whatever, buy them. You never know. Some of these cards that you buy at these shops are incredibly strong and can make the difference. Some of them I've bought have basically become staples in my deck so far. If you're struggling with a mission, just restart it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Get you more practice. A few of the cards that I've used the most, that have helped me the most so far, have been Security Officer, Leprechaun, Grasslands Wolf, Cactuar, Chocobo Moogle, Capperwire, Arch Dragon, J-Unit Sweeper, Titan, and Riot Trooper. Those are a lot of my foundational cards that have made me just absolutely dominate every single person I've come across. Of course, I'm not done with the game, so I still have more players to play, and it might change. But as of right now, I'm at Chapter 7. As of right now, this is some of the staples I think are going to be super beneficial for any deck that you're trying to build. And if you just need some, cheats, shortcuts, whatever, to just plug and play for some really good attacks and a really good defense. Hopefully this video helps you. If you have issues or someone has issues, share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Ooh. He almost had me for a second. Man.